Assalamu alaikum students. Today we will discuss about the cerebrum, the most expanded part of the brain. Now cerebrum is the largest part of the brain. You can see here this is the largest part of the brain. So it is in the shape of a sphere. So so it lies in the anterior, middle and supratentorial part of the posterior cranial fossa. You can see here this is the anterior cranial fossa. This one part is the middle cranial fossa and this part is the supratentorial, that is above the tentorium cerebelli, this part. So it occupies the anterior, middle and supratentorial part of the posterior cranial fossa. Now it is divided by a deep cleft. As I have told you, it is in the form of a sphere, and this sphere is divided by a deep cleft into right and left cerebral hemispheres by a longitudinal fissure. So as we have discussed before, the cavity of the cerebrum. So every part of the brain has got and the spinal cord have got a cavity inside, which is the remnant of the cavity of the neural tube, and the cavity of the cerebrum are the lateral ventricles. So there are two cavities in each hemisphere. You can see this one lateral ventricle and the other lateral ventricle, and they are both opening up into the third ventricle through interventricular foramen. And these lateral ventricles, they extend into each lobe of the cerebrum, that is the anterior lobe, frontal lobe, and the occipital lobe and the temporal lobe, and its main part, that is the body, it lies in the parietal lobe. Now as you can see here, the two cerebral hemispheres are divided by the fold of the dura mater known as falx cerebri, and the cerebrum is separated from the cerebellar hemispheres by the tentorium cerebelli. And deep inside the cavity, deep inside the longitudinal fissure, the hemispheres are connected by a mass of white matter known as corpus callosum. So this is the mass of the white matter which is present deep in the fissure and connecting the two parts. Now this separates the two hemispheres, and you can see here in sagittal section, this is the corpus callosum, while in the dorsal section here you can see the edge of this cerebrum is cut to show, and here also in the coronal section. So this corpus callosum structure is type of which fibers? They are the type of commissural fibers which connect the same corresponding areas of the two cerebral hemispheres. Now this cerebral hemisphere has got three surfaces: suprolateral surface, this one is the suprolateral surface, the outer surface, suprolateral, while the medial surface, when we separate the two cerebral hemispheres, we have got the medial surface, and the third one is the inferior surface, which have got two parts: the orbital part in front and the tentorial part behind. Tentorial means which rests on the tentorium cerebelli. So the surface of the cerebral hemisphere, it shows complex pattern of convolutions called gyri, that is the elevations called gyri, and these gyruses are separated by furrows of varying length known as sulci. So these are sulci and the elevated parts gyri. The convoluted structure increases the cortical volume to 3 times what it would be if the surface is smooth. So these sulci and gyri are present to increase the surface area of the cerebral cortex. Now some of the sulci, they are very deep and they divide the cerebral hemisphere into lobes. So one is the central sulcus running on the superolateral surface. Here you can see this is the central sulcus. Another sulcus which is known as lateral fissure, this one, lateral fissure, and another present in the posterior part known as parieto-occipital fissure. Parieto-occipital fissure. So these three fissures or sulci, they divide the cerebral hemisphere into lobes. The part present anterior to the central sulcus is the frontal lobe. The part between the central sulcus and the parieto-occipital sulcus is the parietal lobe. And the part below the lateral fissure is the temporal lobe. So the part behind the parieto-occipital sulcus is the occipital lobe. So 4 lobes of the brain: frontal, parietal, occipital, temporal. So you can see here the frontal, parietal, occipital and temporal. If you cut the cerebrum, you can see a darkened area on the surface and a lighter white area inside. So the outer part is known as cortex, which consists of gray matter, and the inner part, which is called the medulla, consists of white matter and some of the gray matter. So this gray matter, you know what gray matter consists of? Gray matter consists of the cell bodies of the neurons, number 1. Number 2 is the neuroglial cells, supporting cells. Number 3 is the dendrites of the axons. Number 4 is the initial parts of axons of the neurons. And number 5 is the blood vessels. So due to the presence of the cell bodies which contain the nuclei and the blood vessels, this area appears darker as compared to the medulla. Now medulla consists of white matter. Now you know the white matter, it consists of the axons of the neurons, Number 2, what other things are present in the white matter? Some kind of cells. Are there some kind of cells present in white matter also? Yes, these are the cells of the oligodendrocytes. These are supporting cells and they form the myelin sheath in the central nervous system around the axons of the white matter. White matter of the cerebral hemisphere. Now, as you know, the surface of the cerebral cortex is composed of gray matter, and within the cerebrum, the lobes are connected by masses of nerve fibers or the tracts which make up the white matter of the brain. Now, this white matter connects the various parts of the cerebrum or the various parts of cerebrum to the lower brain centers and the spinal cord. So first of all are the commissural fibers, commissures. Now these fibers connect the corresponding areas of the two cerebral hemispheres. Now the largest and most important commissure is the corpus callosum. So most important one is the corpus callosum, which connects the same part of the two cerebral hemispheres, commissures. So they connect the corresponding gyri of the two cerebral hemispheres. For example, corpus callosum or the anterior commissure. Now the projection fibers. They connect these connect the cerebral cortex with the gray matter of the lower parts of the brain and with the spinal cord. So these fibers, they go through the internal capsule. I will show you in the coming slide. Here also is shown the part of the internal capsule. This is a narrow space from where these fibers, they go down into the lower centers, and these are the projection fibers that connect the lower cerebrum with the lower centers of the brain. Now the association fibers, they connect different parts of cerebral hemisphere by extending from one gyrus to another, some of which are adjacent and some distant. So they connect uh, uh, the parts of cerebral hemisphere in the parts in the same cerebral hemisphere. So these are the association fibers. For example, short association fibers, because they connect within the same cerebral hemisphere, and different gyri. They connect different gyri of the same cerebral hemisphere. Now, lying deep within the each cerebral hemispheres are the group of cell bodies known as nuclei, known as basal ganglia. So a group of cell bodies inside the central nervous system, as you know, it is known as nuclei, and these nuclei which is present deep inside the cerebral hemisphere are known as basal ganglia. Now these basal ganglia, they form the part of extrapyramidal motor system. They act as relay stations with connections to many parts of the brain, including the motor areas of the cerebral cortex and the thalamus. Their function include initiation and fine control of complex movement and learned coordinated activities such as posture and walking. And if control is inadequate or absent, movements are jerky, clumsy, and uncoordinated. So the nuclei of the basal ganglia, they are 5 in number, namely the caudate nucleus, putamen, globus pallidus, substantia nigra, and subthalamic nuclei. So these are nuclei, they fine tune the voluntary and learned movements. The internal capsule is a broad band of ascending and descending fibers to and from the cerebral cortex. Now it is continuous above with the fan-shaped corona radiata and below with the fibers of the crus cerebri. So here you can see this part is known as internal capsule. This is a V-shaped part, and the fibers are extending up towards the cerebral cortex, or they are going down from the cerebral cortex to the other parts of the brain. So this is a narrow V-shaped area from which all these fibers they cross, and this is known as internal capsule. So it is located between the lentiform nucleus and the thalamus and dorsal nucleus, the caudate nucleus medially. And in horizontal section of cerebral hemisphere, the internal capsule, it appears as V-shaped bundle of fibers with apex directed medially. So you can see this is the V-shaped fibers. Medially lie the thalamus, while laterally lies the caudate nucleus. So these are the internal capsule, and it consists of fibers, ascending and descending fibers to and from the cerebral cortex.